everyone, welcome to class today. Today's class is going to be really chilled out and really gentle, so we're going to stay on the mat. We won't be standing up at all today, so get changed into something comfy. You might like to grab a pillow or even a book or something to sit on for the start. It might be handy during the class as well. And just find a place maybe where you won't get disturbed if that's possible, and let's take about half an hour for ourselves. This class is a great class to do if you're feeling a bit stressed out, or if you're struggling to get to sleep at night time. You could do this class just before you go to bed and it might help you relax a little bit more. So let's get started. Coming to sit either in our cross-legged position, or you could come simply to just sit on your knees. And we'll stay here for a few minutes just at the beginning of class to settle in. So we're going to come into whichever position is comfortable for us to sit down in. We'll bring our hands onto our thighs. We'll relax the shoulders down. Eyes are closed, or if that feels a bit awkward and doesn't feel great, we can just keep our gaze down on the mat. Relax the shoulders. Maybe we notice we're holding a bit of tension in the jaw. Could we relax the face and the jaw? Okay, and we'll take our focus to our breath. So how are we breathing right now? So are we breathing into the belly? Or maybe we're breathing up high into the chest? Do our breaths feel nice and relaxed? Or possibly they feel a bit tight or stressful. Let's just notice. It might also be a good moment for you to check in, not just with the breath, but with the whole body if you feel like it. Just noticing any sensations from the toes, up the legs, the hips. Any sensations there? Maybe there's nothing. The back and the shoulders, just noticing how the shoulders feel. The arms, the neck, the head. So we're checking in with the body. Just listening. And we're checking in with the breath. And then we might take a moment, if it feels right for us today, to just check in with how we're doing emotionally. Ask ourselves, how are we today? And just see what answer comes up. And then maybe see if you can locate that sensation in a place in your body. So where do you feel that emotion the most? Maybe in the chest or the belly, the shoulders. Maybe there's somewhere in the body you can connect with that emotion. And so we're just noticing where that emotion lives in the body, whether it's good or bad. And remember, if this is a bit too much for you today, just go back to focusing on the breath and the body. This is a practice of kindness, so we'll just really gently take ourselves back if we're finding this difficult. Otherwise, we'll sit for a moment with our attention on the place in the body where we feel that emotion. And we'll just imagine that we're softening around it. So if we feel that up in our chest and we feel quite tight, we might imagine that we're just softening the shoulders, the chest slightly. Maybe seeing if we can relax a little bit around the emotion or the feeling of the emotion. Okay. Really wonderful job. We'll let go of our focus. Letting go of our focus on the body, the breath, And even the emotion, we'll just take a moment. And we'll take a deep breath in and a nice long slow exhale. And one more deep breath in. Nice long slow exhale. And we'll open the eyes when we're ready. And we can pop our prop off behind us. We won't be needing that at the moment, so we can pop that behind. And we're just going to come into a tabletop position. So nice widespread fingers. And we have some rough alignment with our wrists, our shoulders and our elbows. And we have a slight bend in the elbows, so just a little bit loose in the elbows, just so we're not hyperextending or locking the elbows out like that. Roughly some alignment between our hips and our knees. And as we inhale, we're going to take our gaze up, lift our sit bones. And as we exhale, we'll round the spine, tuck the chin, really push the spine up towards the ceiling. And we'll follow through with our own breath here. Maybe you might like to close down the eyes if you feel comfortable. Exhale, rounding the spine, really pushing up, tucking the chin. A few more here. This is our cat-cow pose, our Bidhalasana. We're just moving the spine, moving the body a little. Okay. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to come into our child's pose. So from here, we could either bring the knees to touch, or we can have a little bit of a space between the knees. That's completely fine. And we're just going to push our sit bones, our bum back onto our heels. Our arms can be out in front of us, and we'll bring our forehead onto the mat. And if our forehead doesn't reach the mat, remember you could always grab that pillow or that cushion that you had to sit on. You could pop it under your forehead, just so your forehead is in contact with the mat or the cushion. So arms can be out in front, just like this. Or if you'd like to try it and it feels more comfortable, you can bring your arms behind you, palms facing up. Again, forehead comes onto the mat. So just take a moment here, figure out which of those options works best in your body, and choose your favorite. Choose the one that feels good today. We'll focus on the breath while we're here. See if we can have nice, calm, relaxing, slow breaths. And we're going to stay in these poses a little bit longer today than usually in class. So see if you can allow yourself to settle in a little bit. Make sure you're comfortable when we come into the pose. And just like always, when our mind starts to wander, we'll just see if we can bring it back to the breath or the body. So settling down. Let the shoulders relax, let the hips be heavy. Again, bringing the mind back to the body and the breath every time that we get distracted. We'll take our gaze between the hands. We'll come back into our tabletop, and then we're going to come to lay on our back. So we'll come to lay on our back. We'll keep our feet in contact with the floor. We're going to come into our thread the needle pose. So we're going to take our left ankle onto our right thigh, pull the toes of that left foot back towards the left knee. We'll take our hands and take them around the thigh. If you don't feel like that's going to happen today, that foot can just stay on the floor. So option 1 is here. Option 2, we grab our hands, take them around the back of the thigh. And then option 3 would be to take hold of the shin if that felt comfortable. Remember, this is a practice, a nice gentle practice today. So take an option that feels quite nice and comfortable. Let's relax the shoulders into the mat. Again, release any tension in the jaw. And just notice the right thigh. It's going to have a tendency to want to fall all the way towards the left, and that'll make the stretch a bit easier. But we want to keep that left thigh above that left side of the pelvis, above that side of the hip. And we can relax this right foot. Doesn't need to be active. Okay, so we relax the shoulders here. So in yoga, we usually breathe in and out through the nose if we can. Obviously, if we're a bit blocked up, we can breathe in and out through the mouth. This is our thread the needle, our Supta Ekapada Rajakapotasana, or supine pigeon pose. Lots of different names for yoga poses. We might see if every exhale we can feel a little bit more relaxed. So every time we exhale, we allow our shoulders to relax a little bit more, our body to relax a little more. So as we let go of the breath on the exhale, see if we can let go of the tension in the body. So we're just trying to be really relaxed and accepting here. So yoga really is a lot more about self-acceptance than it is about self-improvement. So we're just trying to be okay with being still and with whatever our body is capable of today. And then we'll try and have some acceptance over how our mind is today as well. So if we have a really busy mind, a really crazy mind today, we might just see if that, instead of resisting it, we could just be okay with it. It's completely fine. Knowing that you have lots of thoughts today, and knowing that you're going to do your best every time to bring yourself back to the present moment, to the breath. So we'll swap legs. So left foot comes down this time, right ankle comes onto the left thigh, toes of that foot pull back. So again, option 1, try and take the same option that you've taken on both sides. We'll take the hands either side of the left thigh, maybe if that's the option for you today, or maybe around the shin, or remember you can just keep that left foot on the floor. And remember the tendency of that left thigh to kind of want to push over to the right. So we'll push it over a little bit to the left, make sure we're comfortable here though. Shoulders are relaxed, and we can close down the eyes. Again, we'll take our focus just to our exhales, nice and long, nice and slow. Seeing if we can let go with every out breath. As we stay in these poses a little bit longer, it allows for us to relax a little bit more. Also allows this stretch to maybe have a little bit more effect as we're here just a little bit longer. So there's lots of benefits of a nice slow and gentle yoga practice as well as a more fast-paced one. We might find that some days each of those is the most appropriate or best for our body. Just need to learn to listen. Okay, let's just take 2 nice big more deep breaths here. Nice long slow exhales. Okay, and we'll release the legs. And we might like to have a little windscreen wipe with the knees, so let the knees fall to the left, let the knees fall to the right, back and forth just a few times. And then we're going to come into our banana asana. So we'll bring our arms above our head, take hold of opposite elbows, we'll straighten our legs out, and we're just going to bring our torso, so we'll try and keep our hips in the same place. We'll bring our torso all the way over to the right, and then we'll walk our feet all the way over to the right too. And you could cross left over right or right over left, whichever feels most comfortable in your body today. So you feel this nice big stretch along the left hand side of your body. And we're going to relax the arms and the legs. So remember, this should be comfortable too. So come across to a place where you feel quite a gentle stretch that you're happy to stay with for a little few breaths. You might see how it feels to take your breath into the side body, so breathing into the ribs. Again, we'll have some really long, slow exhales. So just bringing the attention, the focus back to the breath or the body. If we get caught in thoughts, if our mind starts to hook us into an interesting story, we just not engage with that story. We just come back to our body and our breath. Okay, we're going to come through center and we're going to come over to our other side of our banana asana. Remember, you can cross whichever foot over the other. Hips stay in contact with the floor. Arms should be quite nice and comfortable on the floor. If they're not, you could take hold just of the wrists instead, if that's a little bit too tight. Or you could take hold of the elbows. It'd be nice if you would close down your eyes if you're comfortable. And again, we'll take our focus onto breathing into this side body. So kind of expanding the stretch slightly here by doing that. Okay. Nice and relaxed. Allow the breaths to be nice and calm, nice and soft. Okay, and then we'll come back to center. Bring our arms out to the side, actually bring our knees into the chest. We might roll into a little ball. Bring the forehead towards the knees, have a little rock from side to side. And then we'll come into our final pose. So you've got two options here. If you have a wall handy, we're going to use that. If you don't have a wall, I want you to just come into our usual Shavasana, our usual lying position. Or you could bring your feet as wide as the mat, allow the knees to fall into each other. And that could be your option here today. If you have a wall handy close by that you can use, you're going to come to the side of the wall. So you bring one of your hips, maybe your right hip towards the wall. And then you're going to rotate the legs up the wall. And so you might be able to come really nice and close to the wall, but that really depends on your hamstrings. So if your hamstrings are really tight, you could shimmy away and you'll just have, wherever you are, some nice kind of straight legs. So you could come really far away if your hamstrings are really tight, or you could come a lot closer if you feel more comfortable. So wherever we are here, so if you're bringing your legs up the wall, you'll draw the toes down towards your face. So you have two options here. Arms could be overhead or arms could be out by the sides. This is a good pose. We're stretching the hamstrings a little bit and it's nice and relaxing. Or you could just be laying down in your Shavasana. Both of those poses have really good amount of benefit. So if you don't have a wall that's clear or it's a little bit too much hassle, just lay down on the floor. This is our final pose, so we're going to rest here for a few minutes. Nice, long, slow exhale. Allow the shoulders to relax. Again, allow the body to feel really nice and heavy. And then I want us to imagine a golden ball of light. And that's just down by the feet. It's a really warm kind of ball, kind of like the sun. We're imagining that's down by the feet. And we imagine that it's warming the feet up. So we can imagine the light's there, it's warming the feet. And then the light slowly moves up the legs, warming up all the way up to the knees. It's bringing some brightness, some warmth. And we'll bring that light all the way up the thighs. Some warm golden light all the way up to the hips, to the belly, up to the chest, and then it rolls and warms the whole of the left arm and the hand. And back up to the chest and over along the right arm and the hand. All the way back up to the chest, to the neck and the throat. And then the whole of the face. Warmed by this golden warm light. And then we can imagine that this light rises above us just slightly, and the whole body is covered in this warm golden light. And we can relax here. So the soft warm golden light is just warming the body. And then we'll take 3 deep breaths. Nice big inhale, nice big long slow exhale. 2 more. Nice big inhale. And release. 1 last one. Nice big inhale. Nice long slow exhale. Okay, and wherever we are, we'll start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. If we're up at the wall, with our legs up the wall, we'll bring our knees into our chest. And then all of us will just roll over to our favourite side, where we'll just take a moment, curled up in a little ball, just before we move anywhere. And then in our own time, we'll use our hands just to come up, maybe keeping our eyes closed if we can. Just come up to a really comfy and easy seated position. You could grab your pillow if you needed. Nice and gentle, nice and soft. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. And we'll inhale, raise the arms, palms come together, we'll bring them down through the center of the chest and we'll bring them to our heart center. And we'll take a moment here to have some gratitude, just saying thanks to ourselves for taking time to practice today. Taking a little bit of time to chill out, slow down. It's really important when it comes to looking after ourselves. And then we can bow the head, and if you'd like to join me, you can say Namaste. Namaste. Thanks for coming to class today, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that practice. It's a nice, gentle, slow practice, so you could do that at night time before going to bed, or any time really that you felt like you needed a little bit of de-stressing. So enjoy the rest of your day, sleep well if you're about to go to bed. It'd be great if you could leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you'd like more slow and gentle videos like this, and please subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you.